Hey everybody, it's Father Casey, the pastor of the Epiphany of our Lord Church, and I welcome you all once again to our YouTube channel, The Fourth Magi. How heavy are your burdens? Are you weighed down? Are you like hunched over because life is so heavy for you? It's hard to carry the things that you're going through. What kind of financial burdens do you have? What kind of emotional burdens do you have? You got problems in your marriage. You got problems in your job. You got problems at school. You got all sorts of problems. We all have problems, medical problems. And so this week, Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for my yoke is easy and my burden light, and I will give you rest." That says quite a bit. Well, what's a yoke? It's not a ha-ha-ha funny one-liner from, James Gaffigan. No, a yoke was actually a wooden contraption that would be placed on oxen so that two oxen could plow a field, and it looks like a McDonald's M, and, the oxen would go on their necks. And so if the yoke was easy, it meant that it was comfortable. It didn't chafe, didn't rub against their skin, because, if they got to plow a field and they got irritated skin, they're going to be bucking and not going to be able to get the job done. And so when Jesus says that my yoke is easy, it doesn't chafe. What I'm asking you to do is not going to harm you. That's basically what he's saying to you. Come to me with all your burdens and take my yoke upon you and do my work, plow my field. Love your neighbor, love yourself, love your enemy. These seem like really hard things, but if we're doing them because Jesus asked us to do them, if we're doing his work, feeding the hungry, giving drink to the thirsty, clothing to the naked, housing to the homeless, we're doing that work. We're teaching the ignorant. We're burying the dead. We're helping those who need help. Well, then that's the yoke that Jesus is asking us to wear. But you see, we'll be on one side of the yoke. Jesus will be on the other side. And that's what he's saying. Take my yoke upon you, because I will be with you in the midst of it. I'm not saying it's going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be but you know that you're not alone, that you don't have to do this alone. I am with you in the midst of it. It reminds me of that old footsteps prayer. A man had a dream one night, and he was walking on the beach, and he realized that Jesus was showing him his life. And as he looked at the different parts of his life, that there were two sets of footsteps side by side. And the man asked Jesus, "What are those footsteps?" And Jesus says, "Well, those are the times when I walked with you, throughout your life." But then there were parts of this man's life that were so hard and challenging and sad and devastating. And at those parts of his life, he saw that there were only one set of footprints. And so he turns to Jesus and he says, "Well, why is it, Lord, that when these hard things happen to me, that I'm walking by myself?" He says, "My son, my brother, I love you. And those points of your life when it was the most difficult, you weren't walking by yourself. I was carrying you." And that's what when Jesus says, "Take my yoke upon you," I'm with you. I will do the work for you if I have to at times, but we're together in this work. You're not alone in the burdens that you carry, because I will help you carry them. So think about whatever problems you have this week. Think about what you're dealing with in your life, the struggles, the burdens, how heavy they might be, and tell Jesus, "Help me, Lord. Take the yoke, take the other half of the yoke and help me." And Jesus will say to you, "I've already done it.